temple. There was a crunching sound that made her think she'd cracked the bat, and as he went down to the floor, the gun went off, sending a bullet into the wall. Something sticky and warm dripped onto Ernie Kassler's bald head. He was sitting between the machines in the projection room of the Marple Theater, queuing up the second reel of A Woman's Past, a pretty good Nance O'Neill picture about adultery set in a leper colony. It had been 20 minutes since the ruckus upstairs, nothing out of the ordinary for the two troublemakers except for what sounded like a gunshot. He put his finger to the substance and, examining it in the dim glow of the 15-watt bulb dangling naked from the booth's ceiling, determined that it was blood. He jumped out of his chair and screeched. He was squeamish, loud enough that the pianist stopped playing, and he became aware of the auditorium full of people turning their attention from Nance's romantic troubles and toward the projection booth. Looking up at the ceiling, he saw that a goodly amount was dripping from upstairs onto the nice, clean linoleum. Latin teacher bludgeons her husband. He assaulted her on returning home. City attorney will not press charges. She was unhappy that he frequented saloons. Mrs. Edith Purcell of 417 East Douglas Avenue last night struck her husband Albert in the head with a blunt object, possibly a fireplace poker, causing his death. The victim had, per Assistant City Attorney Sidney Folston, returned home from the saloon in the Eaton Hotel, where several patrons affirmed that the decedent had become belligerent and had fallen down taking a drunken swing at a companion, then become enraged at the laughter of those assembled. Mr. Folston is satisfied with the widow's account of the incident and believes that Purcell assaulted his wife upon his return to the domicile and that she reacted in self-defense. Albert Purcell, of the above address, was by all accounts a well-liked and successful certified public accountant employed by G.W. Gertz and Company and was expected to advance there quickly. Mrs. Purcell is employed as a teacher of Latin and Greek at Wichita High School and is on break for the holidays. Mr. J. Calhoun Runcie, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, reports that her employment will be terminated regardless of whether she is charged. And thus, Flaviaa learned from an article in the Wichita Morning Eagle that didn't even print her right name, that she would be unemployed, as well as widowed at the new year. She had emptied the apartment of her belongings Christmas Eve morning, leaving Alberts behind for whomever might find them tempting, except for a prized silver pocket watch that had belonged to his grandfather and which she planned to sell. The sight of her late husband's black, coagulated blood on the throw rug next to the bedroom door excited in her neither grief nor remorse. She wasn't proud of the deed, but she didn't regret it either, and she knew she would never miss him for a second. It would have been better if she'd retained a lawyer months earlier, but she hadn't, and that was that. She decided there, just before leaving the apartment for the last time, that she would not consider herself widowed, nor even divorced, but as a woman who had never married. She would have to leave town. Some things could be forgotten in such a place, but the Christmas week bludgeoning of a successful and well-liked certified public accountant was not among them. Her own grandfather lived, after decades of flitting about the country, in Los Angeles, California. He had long ago taught her the rudiments of photography, and in his letters often suggested that she should come out there and live in the healthy sunshine and assist him in his studio. She had always considered the idea as a childish fantasy, but now it seemed not only a valid solution to her troubles, but something of an adventure as well. Dear Gramps, I don't know if you have heard, but I recently collapsed Albert's cranial vault, and though I am in no danger of legal jeopardy, I will face considerable prejudice in Wichita regarding employment, matrimony, etc., and I believe it is time for me to leave the old hometown for fairer climes. I am hoping you were serious when you suggested I relocate to sunny Southern California, because I am heading there anon, and will be counting on you for employment and lodging, at least temporarily. Maybe I can find work in the pictures. I will wire you details when I know them. Love, Flaviaa.